First and foremost, I'd like to give all acknowledgement, honor, glory, and praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Harakha, Hakudash, who giveth us forth his servant strength and power to move mountains, and who will deliver us, Lord willing, from the hour of temptation. A double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that have taught us his truth. And shalom unto you, hopeful, sincere, like members, and 1/3 of you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans and Seminole Indians that truly believe that Yahweh is and that he exists, and that Yahweh Shai is the deliverer and will deliver you. Hey, shalom unto you. I'm the brother Abaji from the Los Angeles GMS camp, and we're currently teaching in the San Fernando Valley. The specific location is in Ventura. And Lord willing, this lesson is edifying unto you, hopeful elect. Now we're going to talk about hyperinflation, which is happening right now. And we're going to go into the scripture that the apostle brought out about super hyperinflation within the scriptures. All right. And soon you people are going to work and bust the sweat of your brows, to just feed yourself. All right? You're going to work hard just to have a meal. All right? Because food prices are going to skyrocket. All right? And evil times are coming because of this. And the next step after that is just total chaos over food. All right? Why is the food going to be hyperinflated? Because there's going to be none. And this is all engineered. And it's going to be chaos out here, man. Nothing but chaos. And Jacob, trouble. You Israelites are going to be in trouble, man. All right, now let's get the scripture and let's bring out the information, and Lord willing, this is edifying to you, hopeful elect members. So we're going to start at actually blow ye the trumpet. Joel. All right, because we've been sounding the alarm to the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai and other men before me. Ever since 1969, the trumpet has been going off. All right, the alarm has been sounding, especially to you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Joel 2:1, blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Holy meaning separate. All right, the Lord deals with you Israelites separately, and he's warning you through his men let all the inhabitants of the land tremble. So this trumpet that's being blown, you're supposed to tremble because it's a warning. You're supposed to be in fear. All right, to get right, to please the Lord. What did the scripture says? Warn them from me. Because the Lord is going to be terrible out here. Because he's going to be judging people. For the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. So the day of the Lord, the day of Yahweh Shai making his return in his chariots in his abbaship with his army is closer. We're reaching the climax to where Yahushua appear in Babylon. All right, starting first in the Middle East over there. And then he's going to come to Basra. But these are the sequence of the movie. You know, utter chaos, famine, pestilence. Same thing before the Lord entered into Egypt. And the Lord said, you're going to stretch out his hand against Egypt again. All right? So we're warning you, Israelites. Ezekiel 7:14. They have blown the trumpet. They who? The men of the Lord. In that day, you can't just be like, oh shit, nobody ever told me. I didn't know. No. That day is talking about the men that serve Yahweh Shem Shai are blowing the trumpet. Even to make all ready, spiritually to be prepared, to have that wisdom and understanding so it could be your stability of the times. All right? But none goeth to the battle. None that goeth to the battle is 2/3. For my wrath is upon all the multitude thereof. For the Lord's anger is upon a lot of people. Then the scripture says the Lord is angry with the wicked every day. Well, that time for the Lord to execute his anger is closer. All right? The sword is without, the pestilence and the famine within. He that is in the field shall die with the sword, and he that is in the city famine and pestilence shall devour him. So all the curses and evil things that have befalled us are now happening to Esau and his kingdom. All right? No one's going to be able to escape the sword. No one's going to be able to escape the pestilence. No one's going to be able to escape the famine. One, either or the other is going to get you. All right? For these 2/3 of our people, especially 2/3 of our people, and the rest of everybody else who we care not for. All right? So let's go into it, man. Hyperinflation. And check it out. This is not just a one country thing, just an American problem. No, this is a global food problem. All right? Remember, Esau is doing a global reset. How you think he's going to get the whole world to fall into his hand to take that charagma? He has to execute his plan throughout the whole earth. I remember Klaus Shaw, that dude that be talking about the global reset. You know, he be speaking and, you know, talking about the new world, building a new world. He said all these nations gotta put aside their conflicts, their own interests. Pretty much, he told them not to worry about their own sovereignty and get on board with the future that they're trying to build, which is that New World Order. All right? So, food apocalypse, the world has just 10 weeks worth of wheat left. So what does that mean? When there is less, literally wheat and flour, same thing, is almost in everything. All right? And that means less commerce, less substance, less things, less produce on the stock line, on the aisles. I mean, Revelations chapter 6 and 5. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, "Come and see." And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, which represents slavery. All right? The gruesomeness of slavery. The black horse is the embodiment of slavery. And he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. Now, when you think of balances, what do you think of? It's going to tell you. That's why we try to go into the words. Salak. Dealing with the yoke of iron, right? A yoke that is put on draught cattle. Remember, Esau don't even consider us 3/5 of a man. And he had us like what? Cattle. With yoke upon our necks. See, that represents as that of slavery. Right here. Plain and clear. All right? And just because Esau don't have physically the chains upon us, now it's all in our minds. As a nation of people. But not the elect. And those that believe in Yahweh Shema Shai sincerely. All right? Remember, slavery. Oh, like the apostle was saying, we're still in the black horse. All right? The black horse is now. All right? Remember, Esau and we're still slaves here. All right? Just like the scripture tells you in Isaiah chapter 14 that it says, how had the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased? So we're still, the black horse is still now. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. Now, a measure of wheat for a penny. So, according to the information I was given, or, the apostle going into it, I looked up what was a penny in ancient Rome. Or what was the penny of ancient Rome? Because the scriptures talk about a penny. All right? But it says denarius. This standard silver coin of the Roman Empire depicted an emperor wearing a laurel or wreath or something like that. But there it is. What is a Roman penny? Denarius. All right? Now, is it an actual penny's worth? No. But the point of it was a wages a wages given for a day's job. All right? Because I looked up this right here, wages in ancient Rome. And it says most widely quoted wages are denarius, a day for a common soldier, and 2 denarii per day for a praetorian. So you see, that's a day's pay. So if I'm making sense to the Spirit, like the apostle brought out, that when the hyperinflation comes in, people are going to work just to eat, to buy food. And the day's work wages are going to be used to buy that food. And it shows you how skyrocketed prices are going to be. All right? And how devalued the money is going to be. And I heard a voice in the midst of the 4B say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. And see thou heard not the oil and the wine, which is dealing with the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of these scriptures, this truth. All right? And let's see what the New LT said. And I heard a voice from among the 4 living beings say, a loaf of bread or 3 loaves of bread will cost a day's pay. See that? A day's pay. What you get in a day is going to be enough to cover, barely enough to cover food. And that is what? Hyperinflation. And why is something hyper? Because the less of it, the more expensive it is. All right? And what do you think of the next sequence going to be? It's going to go from hyper inflated to none at all. 2nd Ezra 6:22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The aisles, grocery stores, local markets, farm markets, wherever food or produce is, merchandise, there's going to be less of it. And there's going to be a lot of empty shelves. And there's going to be a lot of stores closing down. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Now, you got articles like Food Apocalypse. And they say we got about two months, right? 2 months, 2 months plus before everyone suffers. And what does that mean? Prices are going to go up. People are going to get desperate. And then when people can't afford it, they're going to resort to violence. All right? The world The CEO of agriculture analytics firm Go Intelligence told the UN Security Council that before the end of the summer, the world wheat supplies could dry up, and that the Russian-Ukraine conflict is not necessarily to blame. No. This was happening since the crisis. This is the perfect crisis, and they've been capitalizing off of it. All right, because the ships are never going back to normal. I don't know what I was seeing, but there was something that's saying it's not going to go back to normal for the next 10 years. I believe Double 7 brought it out. With the shipping and like it's backed up. So what does that mean? Goods ain't gonna get here, or them ships are gonna turn back. All right. And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the four beasts say, "Come and see." And this pale horse, which pretty much is embodiment of the judgment that's coming by the pestilence, the famine, the sword. It's great death coming. All right. And this pale horse is watching for pretty much like the scripture I wanted to bring out, Ezekiel 7. The evil days is watching for this kingdom. Ezekiel 7:5. Thus said the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai, an evil and only evil, behold, is come, meaning bad times. And end is come. The end is come. It watcheth for thee. Behold, it is come. So the end is watching for thee. All right. The pale horse is almost here. I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death. And hell followed with him, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth, which represents Babylon, aka America. This whole verse. All right. To kill with the sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. All right. Hey, Esau, the pale horse is coming. All right. The evil days is lurking at your doorstep. And what is going to take place? Soon it'll be 2nd Ezra 16, 2nd Ezra 15. And them chapters in real life are going to be vivid. All right? Meaning it's going to be worse than how it really is written. Second Ezra 15 and 19. And a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. The scripture says, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. The love of many. You know how these people love being friendly, having all these followers and all that shit, and close relatives, and all that ain't gonna mean nothing in that day. And a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. And the Lord is bringing this judgment upon Babylon. These elites, they get no credit, man. They're doing the Lord's bidding by engineering this chaos, by destroying their wheat supplies, their factories. Oh yeah, recently some wheat factory, producing factory burnt down. All right? And soon chaos will be out here because people need food. And for great tribulation. Food ain't going to be the only thing people going to be out here worried about. They're going to be worried about other people trying to take their food. All right? And there's going to be a lot of murdering, a lot of evil out here. All right? But Lord willing was edifying, and to the point, the Lord said he was going we shall be merry and have abundance. So we're going to be in a whole different spirit. All right? Because Lord willing, the Lord is going to take care of us in these times. We're going to be in a whole different spirit like we are right now from everybody else. Hey, but Lord willing is edifying, and to the point, giving all praise to Yahweh Shem Yashai, and double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS. Hey, shalom.